Welcome to Whispers and Choco. This is how we do, and if you don't know, now you do. I'm Shawnee Whispers.
And I'm Mike Choco.
Together we are Mike and Sean in purebred loco. Oh no, we fucked that up. Okay.
Yeah.
And we might go loco.
And we might go loco.
And just in case you wonder what went wrong, or you just in case you wonder what took long, we'll say that we're sorry, and this show is going.
This show is going
Straight to hell.
straight to.
I like that one. Yes.
Yeah. Happy Thursday, April 29th. Special day today. Two special things going on today. Here from the Mike and Sean Show, we will love to inform you that as of July 1st, the city is open. New York City is going to be open, baby. I can't wait. Looking forward to it. All those places to go, to eat, drink, get drunk and fall over and
Strip
leave
bars.
a mess. And fully open strip bars with a great meal set up for everyone that comes in during happy hour. You know, there's nothing like a strip club steak, like, it's well done. I mean, they beat that meat so it's ready for you. It's one of the best steaks you'll ever have.
Wearing a nice mask.
Yeah, wearing the greatest mask ever. But it's back open, which is awesome for anyone not around Queens or listening. Here between Flushing, Bayside, and Whitestone. If you're in Whitestone, stop by Rebar by the Bridge. If you're in between Flushing and heading out to Bayside, you want to go to JD's. And if you're out on Bell and you want a little bit a little older crowd, you go to No-No's Lounge, right? And the thing about these three places is you don't just get good people and good service, you get great people that will take care of you. So just find a place. And if you're in the city heading uptown, you're in the 70s, Luke's Bar and Grill. I mean, these are the places where your friends are, where the people are great that will take care of you. So, and that's number one. That's the most important. So the city's back open, and you can, the CDC says you can take your masks off if you want. And I wish some of you would just keep those fucking masks on because you're ugly inside and out.
Do you find a lot of people in the city walking around without masks?
No, not really.
Well, then again, Fauci says if you have if you got the
they said if you're
vaccine.
vaccinated, don't worry. But who's walking around with a nameplate that says I'm vaccinated? No, and the other thing is before that, I've had delivery guys and service guys, FedEx, UPS. Some of those guys were like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm not wearing it, and they did it anyway. And then there's other people that I walked. There was 3 tourists, a husband and wife and their son, and they weren't wearing the mask. And so I just kind of glanced over at them, and the kid puffed his chest out, and the dad was looking over the shoulder. They wanted to see what the reaction was, and I was just I just smiled, I don't really give a shit.
They get to say where they're from.
No, I just they just the stop and look, and I was just I don't care. I don't care who you are, where you are. I'm never gonna see you again. I'm never gonna miss anything, So being that the city's open, I think that's important. It's now we can find what we can, the businesses to open, and we could just get more people walking around and getting on the train and going things, more travel. So that's most important. Second, today's draft day. And for those that have successful drafts and their team have done very well, good for you, because it's going to happen again. I'm a Jet fan. And unfortunately, there's a long history of misses? I don't know. But today, I want to give a nice shout out. Happy birthday to Browning Nagel, the Jets. Drafted him in 1991, and he never did anything for us. So,
Yay.
way to go, Jets. Consistency. Hopefully today we get that Zach Wilson kid. And, look forward to all those weapons and everything good, because I need a good summer and I need a good winter. And it starts with sports, and then it goes by everything else that I do, you do, and we all do. So how's your day today, Mikey?
Pretty good. Can't complain. I know. Talking about the Jets. I'm gonna get. I'm gonna go with right.
Go ahead.
I took my partner in crime over here with me to a Jets game.
Oh,
and,
nice.
We went to a Jets game. It was Thanksgiving. It was snowing, and they were playing the Patriots. what a massive massacre.
Yeah, that's.
I can say one thing.
Yeah.
Mark Sanchez was the best quarterback that every other team had
Yeah,
on the Jets. Because,
Mark Dirty Sanchez. You know,
because man, the fumbles, the interception, it was just horrible.
you know, it took me a long time to teach my wife football. She wasn't into it. She just couldn't get it in. So in the beginning, funny story about it was we were watching baseball. The Mets were still in it. And then football. And so I'm yelling and screaming. It's like Sunday morning. She's a little hungover. She's like, I can't do this. So, all right, fine. We won't go out. Won't go try to do anything. Stay at home. Staying at home. She's sitting down reading the book. And I'm screaming at the TV. You know, run right, run right. Who throws a pass on third down? You're like 10 yards to go. And then she's like, the fuck are you yelling at? So I said, all right, let me explain to you what I saw, what I've learned, and then who knows if I'm right. I don't know. And so I was explaining the play, and it was set up. And as I started to explain it, she started to understand it, okay? And so every week I would explain a little bit more and get to the point where I didn't have to tell her much, and she got the basics. So we're watching a game against the Saints, and Sanchez was holding the ball a little bit too long, running into the end zone. He gets a safety. And even she was like, throw the damn ball. And I was just so proud of myself. I was like, you know, teaching her. But
It was horrible.
but his problem was inconsistent. You know, when he came out of college, the coach at that time, Pete Carroll, who's now the head coach of the Seahawks, was like, oh, I think he's leaving too soon. And people thought he was just jealous because they won, and he won with that team with Sanchez as the quarterback, and that he just wanted to win more championships in college. Maybe he was right because, you know,
He
Mark.
wasn't ready.
I don't know what he was, but he did good in moments. That's the problem with some of the guys, and I don't know if it's just the Jet quarterbacks, but there's a long list of these guys. They have good moments. They can't put it all together. And then to sum it up, like the end of his, you know, Jet career is a video, and it's nicknamed the butt fumble. I mean, the butt fumble. I could understand if he got hit in the butt and then he fumbled. His face hit the offensive lineman's ass. He fumbled.
My partner in crime over here was telling me, why are we leaving early? It was halftime.
Yeah.
It was a massive blowout. I'm like, I'm freezing. We're there. It's freezing. I'm like, this shit is horrible. I'm out of here.
Football's the only sport where it's acceptable to leave early. Like, it really is. It's just fully acceptable because, I mean...
Like, why are we leaving? I don't want you to see this massacre.
Yeah, I want you to be semi-scarred, not fully scarred, you know? Just get a little wound. But baseball, you never leave. You never leave. Oh, and baseball, I'm a Met fan. Met fan? You like the Mets?
Yeah.
A little bit? Right?
He's been to a couple of games, like I told you, thanks to Mr. Kraft.
Yeah.
Kraft gave us seats behind the gave my cousin seats, his seats, personal seats, behind home plate, and it's pretty nice. Like the players actually come up and talk to us, and it's like,
Yeah, like they're bored. No one else will talk to them. They're like, you guys are close. Hey, do I look good out there? Yep, that ass is really, really tight in those pants. So keep going. But like it's early in the season. The guys are 9-9, and I got all these fans, friends and fans, and if they're paying attention, probably not, but if they are, don't jump ship. It's 18 games into this season. There's the difference between what the Mets have in competition in that division is they're not hitting, and they have hitters. They have really good, talented hitters. The other guys that are bad don't. Washington, good pitching, not good hitting. Miami, an okay young team. So you're worrying about Atlanta, who's got good pitching and good hitting. And they're only 12-12, and Philadelphia's got half a good team. So the elements of the Mets going out there and not hitting now early, I'm not worried about it. I am not worried about it. My pitchers are on point, and the hitters are going to hit. They just say, just keep doing what you're doing, whatever it is. Whatever magic you have will come out there. And for Met fans, they should hold on tight to that because it's going to change. Like, this team is different. Like, the ownership is different. The people responsible are more baseball people. It should make you excited for the long run. The first time in a long time you could look ahead. Being a Met fan and a Jet fan, it's hard to look ahead with positivity for the future because it's just a history. They're just the phrase "diehard fan" is meant for anyone who roots for both of those teams, let alone one of them. Like, your soul is going to get snatched out. Yeah, it's like...
I still haven't been to one of the tailgates that you guys throw. I was looking forward to it, but
Yeah, I
let's
mean,
see.
too many restrictions, and
So now that everything New York is going to open up come January 1st, right?
yeah.
I guess that's fair game with the tailgates.
So if it all goes well, I think between now and September. Now September 11th, I think is a Saturday. The Mets and Yankees are playing each other. It's one game, and if all goes well,
on.
yeah, it's on. I would say that there's going to be a Mets Yankees tailgate,
Gonna
and I
roast
think they're
that
playing
parking
inside.
lot.
Yeah, this tailgate will be the one that bans all the other tailgates from this moment on. Like the mess of look, it's good people, and then the fun, the excitement, the North versus South kind of thing, big brother, little brother, and then you mix in good alcohol and hot dogs. And that changes everything. People fight over hot dogs. They're just savages.
YouTube,
And so-
Facebook, Twitch. We see you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for
Make
tuning
sure you
in.
Like, add, subscribe. Also, lines are open 718-616-9971. That's 718-616-9971. We're with Mike and Mike.
And it's,
Sean somewhere.
yeah. And hey, Sean. Oh, look, I don't get to get cut off right now. That is
Hey.
so
You
amazing.
think I could impersonate Sean?
Yeah.
Hey, come back here.
So, I know you had something to say, but let me tell you exactly what. No.
Hey,
Yeah,
Sheen.
you don't know. There it is. Mike the engineer. Sheen. How many times you gonna call me Sheen?
Oh, shit.
Did I tell you I was listening to Michael K? And John Sterling?
That's. I'm not gonna do any more impersonations of you. You're probably not watching it now,
He's
so
gonna look at the replay.
yeah,
and
he's
be
gonna
like,
watch the
"You two
replay like
motherfuck-"
you
You
dirty
bastard.
mother.
I'm gonna get a middle of the night text.
Yeah. I think I might see him after this, accidentally. He'll just walk right into each other. Some funny thing looked up today also is David Lee's birthday. New York Knicks draft pick David Lee. Happy birthday to David Lee, who I think he's definitely listening because he was so bored. He's probably like, let me see what the this show with the blue and orange and Mike and Sean is all about.
Yeah, let me tune in.
I doubt it. Yeah, so today's the draft and we're all excited. Let's see. What did I pick up here? So, I don't know if you're a boxing fan. You're a boxing fan? Like
Sort of.
boxing?
Sort
Like
of.
boxing?
Go ahead, guy. If you're gonna tell me, I'm gonna beat you with that microphone. Go ahead.
About boxing?
No,
No.
I'm waiting for it.
Oh, okay. No. So, look, I was looking up some history about boxing, and it's like I'm a big fan of it, but I wouldn't say that I'm a great fan. I have spurts of it, and I like it and appreciate it. So I was reading something today. In 1681, the first recorded boxing match was between a butler and butcher to the Duke of Albemarle, right? It's in England, and Albemarle is really small.
Boxing match.
Yeah, it
That
was the
shit
first
a brawl.
recorded. It was yeah, it was a brawl. It was just two guys that fighting. But in 1865, 1865, which is not that long ago, a welterweight and a heavyweight fought 185 rounds of bare knuckle boxing. Just take a moment. They really hit you bare fist 185 rounds. Now, we don't know how long the rounds because they didn't have clocks. They had stopwatches with a little bit of time, but not like the way we have now. So 185 rounds of boxing. Bare knuckle, face punching boxing. Yeah. The wind smacks some of these people in the face and they
That's gonna
they
be
turn
great.
into curl
That's
up
gonna
in
be
a
great. See?
right?
I'm
185.
ready to take up boxing. That's my.
You ready to
it's
take
on
up
my
boxing?
yeah, it's on
Oh
my
my.
bucket list. So I was like,
Yeah.
but I don't.
You ready?
Going 185 rounds.
Well, how about you just go one round? How about you start at one round? I mean, one round is enough. I mean, come on, look, 1 2 minute to 3 minute round, throwing punches out there. I mean, I have a buddy of mine who fought in Golden Gloves, and he just got certified as a boxing trainer. So it's like that's pretty cool. So Danny Ramos, congratulations to you. Good luck. Hope you train somebody in the art that you were gifted with. So that's pretty cool. You know, I was but boxing. I was like, like you miss out on some of the fights, right? Like some of the greatest boxers who ever fought used to fight 15-round monsters, and they realized after a while, especially after Muhammad Ali, that is just too brutal, because they would get tired and their hands would drop. And so they're fighting the last 3 rounds, maybe more, with their hands here, and they're getting hit. Now, they punch, but they're getting hit and they're getting destroyed. And a lot of boxers got brain dead from it,
We got
you know.
516 calling in.
All right, bring it on. 516 caller. Hey, caller.
Hello.
Yeah.
After 20 games in the season, you get booed. You deserve to get booed. I don't give a fuck what you say. You get paid millions. You're one of the top shortstops in the fucking world. Yeah, you're gonna get booed. This is New York. You gotta come hard over here.
All right, Giambi, I got you. I hear you. Okay, but it's 20 games
Fuck
in here.
that.
Okay,
Huh?
nobody said you're not allowed to boo. Just said hang on there. That's all I said.
He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
He
Come on,
should get it, and
Lindor.
he said I understand it. They want to see someone win. I'm just
The
saying
whole
for the
team
people that
should
are
get
jumping ship already.
After yesterday's game, everybody should fucking get booed. How you gonna leave DeGrom at you?
How do you leave him in? How do you leave him in? But look,
Sounds angry.
yeah, that's okay. He was mad. Thank you. You got your call. But here's a look. Pivetta pitched an amazing game. You know, DeGrom still. It was 1-0. So if we're talking about that game, nobody hit.
Got it?
No one hit. So be mad at Lindor. Be mad at Conforto. Be mad at Alfonso. Be mad at everybody. Every single one of them. Boo every single one of them. Obviously, when a guy's making $34 million, he should get the first and the loudest boos. That I understand, and that I agree with. But I'm just saying, don't be mad, but don't hate. Don't get too crazy with this. Only 18 games, man. Your team, it takes about 35 games into a season to figure out where your team is going. And if you don't have any faith that this team is going to, and it's not even 35. It's not even 20 games. The other teams have played 5-6 games more. They're fine. They will be fine.
Be all right.
Yeah, Lindor's going to hit. He's a pro. He's a top 5 player. He's going to hit. Don't worry about it. You can come off the ledge. Come back to me. Here's my hands. Come on.
Want to say a big shout out to my co-host on my personal show that we normally do, Marcy.
Hello, Marcy.
Right now we're on a slow little break, but we're coming back. We're gonna be filming again. Actually, we're gonna be filming skits.
Oh, nice.
And Marcy right now is doing stand-up comedy because that's what she does.
Very cool.
But big shout out and much love goes to my partner in crime,
Marcy.
That's,
Good to hear. Hey,
I owe
Marcy.
her a lot. She brought you guys. She introduced me to Sean, and everybody else.
Hi, Marcy.
That's my buddy.
Thanks, Marcy.
And you can go check her out on Hatfields.
Hatfields.
Hatfields on the Boulevard.
Hatfields on the Boulevard. Yeah. I always find somebody that I know that ends up working there, and so you just walk in and surprise. Ladies' night. Moving off of that, you like coffee?
It's all right. I'm not a
big
diehard
fan. So I'm a coffee guy now. I wasn't always a coffee. I didn't really appreciate what coffee is, right? But now I love it. Like
You work mornings?
I work mornings, afternoons, and overnights, and
That's why.
it was like, but you know what? It was funny. It was like I get a large coffee, and sometimes I don't finish it, but just the taste of getting close to finishing it, it's like it leaves you wanting more. Also, the caffeine intake is pretty intense, so yeah, I'm gonna need it to stay up a little bit, especially when I get up sometimes at like 10 after 4 in the morning. I get in there and I'm making my breakfast, I'm making my lunch, and most important is like I just see that coffee. It's getting ready. It's getting ready to insert itself into my veins.
If you don't have your coffee, you be bugging out?
You know what? I'll tell you funny. I went to a Dunkin' Donuts by my house, and it was a small Dunkin' Donuts, and it would always be a pain in the ass. It's like you go in there and ask for a coffee, and when I ask for a coffee, or anybody asks for coffee, it's hot. If you want ice, it's extra. So I have this. I'm sure I've been cranky a couple of times, but at this one time, I went in there, and it's the same woman on the same face, and I was unhappy for, non-caffeine reasons, and I was just standing there, and she was like, "What would you like?" And I said, "Like a coffee black," and she was like, "How would you like it?" I said, "How would I like it?" I said, "I like it hot." "Isn't ice extra?" "Well, I didn't ask you for fucking ice." Now I regret that, and I don't really know where she is, and I apologize. But at that moment, that was caffeine, that caffeine withdrawal, making me aggravated at this lady. So I mean, she's not around anymore, and I don't mean that in spirit-wise. I mean, she doesn't work at Dunkin' Donuts anymore. And I also, it's funny because I was also there at a different one where some cranky old man was yelling at her. And I, like, to take my own medicine, I was like, I said, not for nothing. I said, but it takes no energy whatsoever to be nice. Don't be a dick. That moment I was a dick, and I apologize, but he yelled at me, and he goes, I'm older than you. Don't tell me how I should treat people. And I was like, look, I just want to, I said, I yelled at him. I was like, then you know better. I said, it takes no fucking energy whatsoever to be nice.
Yeah.
And then he gave me he flipped a bird.
Not only that, you don't know who you're talking to. Like,
Well, he was yelling at the two women. One was an Indian woman with the thick accent. One was a Latino woman with the thick accent. And he was basically calling them out for being immigrants. And so that's kind of why I yelled. I understand like you might be loud, like that's not what I ordered kind of thing. But it got personal. He got too personal when he called out there, being immigrants and shit like that, going back to their country. So I was not having that. I was a superhero for the day. That's what I did.
That's a dirtbag.
But I didn't. I went, yeah, he's dirtbag. But I mean, I didn't take it and like run around telling everybody. I think this might have been the only second time I ever told anybody because I didn't want any credit for it. But now I do. So yeah, I mean, but coffee. So when you don't have the coffee and then you get ice cream, and I love ice cream, right? I would do just about anything for ice cream. I mean, I've had some bad ice cream and still finished it because, well, like you just have to. But coffee ice cream, that's some hot stuff right there. Just to say that I love caffeine in coffee and then I love ice cream. I would assassinate a whole neighborhood if asked upon for ice cream. If you couldn't pay me in money, pay me in ice cream. That's it. If I was a porn star, I would say, salary? I don't need a salary. Pay me in ice cream.
Oh, fuck that.
I'm doing two things that I love. I'm doing two things that I love. Well, yeah, two things that I love is like, sex and ice cream. So, I mean, if I was, but I'm not. So, I'm not getting paid with ice cream. So that sucks. Well, cheers to you.
You like that coffee? Like that coffee?
How is it? What do you have there?
Frozen, I don't know, frozen frappuccino.
Frappuccino?
Like
Foreverccino?
Yeah,
Is that so? Is it
sure,
for?
with the chocolate chip and all that stuff in it.
That's different. That's different. That looks good.
It looks good.
It looks so good. It looks like, you know what's probably missing? Well, not for you, but would be like alcohol.
You're gonna twist. There you go.
Because, I think everything is missing alcohol. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not even close, but I think everything missing alcohol. A good beer solves a lot of things. Wine is great with a good meal. Tequila takes care of a lot of things. Whiskey makes gentlemen into gentlemen. So
being that New York is gonna reopen, right?
Yes, sir.
I guess the 4th of July it's on.
Yeah, but I'm sure that they'll probably find a way to
New
like
Year's
do
is
some.
gonna be on. How the hell
Well,
are we gonna
I
do
mean,
New Year's. That's gonna be wicked.
I can imagine what it's going to be like in 6 months.
I guess they're gonna monitor all the numbers to see how
All the numbers, and even more, and I just don't want to hear another shutdown again, so many people have just
What do you think
depressed about it too.
I don't know the let's see, what was it? What I was telling you before about Biden.
Oh, what about Joe Biden?
He was saying that that he was going to be given stimulus checks for the next 4 years, every month, for the next 4 years. He committed.
Do I think he can do it?
Yeah.
I think you can do just about anything, but at some point the money runs out. You can't keep giving money out. And I get the stimulus checks, but the taxing of the people $400,000 and over, I understand that. To a degree, also understand that the billionaires and the billionaire corporations, like Amazon is worth, was it 500 billion or $1 trillion, something to create, but it pays no federal. Biden just committed to monthly stimulus checks for 4 more years. I mean, that would have to be
Holy hell.
it'd have to be like to the people that like I don't know. Like I can't even imagine who it would go to, but it said like a company like Amazon. That's what I was saying.
Starting this July.
A company like Amazon, if they paid 25% taxes there, because they're paying no federal tax, 25% of $1 trillion is how much? $25 billion,
$5 million.
right? So you're telling me that he can't afford that? You're telling me that guy is like, oh, listen, in my divorce, I lost half of it, so I can't really pay all of it now. I'll give you a few here and there.
Some change.
$25 billion?
Some change.
$20 billion out of that? You're telling, and what does that cover? Just him alone covers everything, all the taxes, all the infrastructure, all the insurance, everything else that you
How much
need?
is this guy's wife taking? Didn't like they filed the
She's taking half, puppy. Yeah, she's taking half. She's already married. She's already engaged to get married to a school teacher. And that school teacher was like, wait, so this means I don't have to go back to work, right? Yeah. Like, I don't love you for your money. I didn't even realize that it was you. I mean, you look so different from those pictures that I have of you in my closet waiting for you to come when you go to get your coffee at the store that I get my coffee in. So you probably met through coffee.
Like, darling, I love you.
Yeah. He was like,
Right? Imagine that shit. Like,
she's like, my new
did he
husband
know
is...
who she was? That's the question.
Yeah, she... Do you know how many regular guys were like walking around with her picture in places that, you know, like I'm gonna get, this is gonna be me. I'm gonna this is, oh my God, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. And then the one dude finds her. He's probably buying coffee, turns around and sees her and pulls out like the greatest line. He's like,
She don't fall for it. Forget
wow.
it.
I'm sorry, but I've never seen somebody as rich as you in my life. What do you say? I don't know who you are. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. I'd love to have another conversation. Let me get that coffee for you. Because if I buy this coffee for you, you're going to be buying yachts for me later. I don't know. I know that guy is set for 6 generations.
Yeah.
Like his family
Game
probably
over.
all fainted at the same time. Oh my God, he's so
Like,
rich.
hypothetically, like,
Yeah.
really imagine, like, you know, you really didn't know who she was. Right?
Okay, let's say.
And, like, how do you even handle that shit? Like, okay, I took
Let's
you
say
out-
she surprises you, okay?
I took you out to dinner.
Yeah, you did. It was great. I had a
And
great
she-
dinner.
And she's insisting that she's gonna
Pay for it.
pay for it.
I would be like, well, I mean, did I pay for the last dinner? Then it's acceptable for you to pay for this one. So, okay, well, I'm sure.
Now she's like, all right, I'll see you later. All right, cool. Let me walk you to your car. No, it's okay. Alfred, please pull around.
And the Tesla pulls up. And Alfred's just the name of the car. There's no real driver. The Tesla drives itself. So you get in there and you're like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Maybe you make a good living. You get in the car and it drives you home. Okay? The car turns into a tank. So now it's guarding her while she goes and spends the night with you.
She's crazy.
Right? And then she's like, and she goes to the bank and her card falls out. And it's not a black card. It's like this platinum pressed brick that she walks around and scans everything and buys everything. And he's like, wow, who he looks it up on the computer. Oh my God, this is you? She's like, yes, I fell in love with you because you didn't know who I was. And then the closet door slowly opens up and it's all the pictures of her and a map of where she goes and gets her coffee. And he's got the car, the route, at what time of the day she travels to different places.
What coffee she orders.
Right. She turns to look to go to the car and he's like, you know, slams the dog, pulls the rope so the door closes because the dog's in on it too. Yeah, I see that. I see you don't know who she is, who the richest people in the world are. But
Are you a Marvel fan or a DC fan?
I'm a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
I'm a huge Marvel fan. Like, I think that, you know what's funny? I'd say like at the Marvel, like I'm a big X-Men mutants, is that I always wished, it felt like Batman should have been a Marvel character. You know, I know like they fit together because we're used to it. I just feel like Batman should have been a Marvel character. I feel like he would have gotten a lot more respect. You know, and if Ben Affleck played Batman, he never would have gotten any respect. Because once he played Daredevil, it was awful, and they gave him Batman. Yeah, but I'm a big Marvel guy. I love the Mutants. The Mutants was always, My comic books were like G.I. Joe, X-Men, Avengers, and everything that was related to that. And, try to and run around. But I was like a big G.I. Joe fan.
I love the shit out of Iron Man. Iron Man is my man.
Yeah. And for the movies and the character, like Robert Downey Jr. plays the perfect. He fits if you look at the comic book and you read 6 of them in a row, it's him.
Yeah.
It's him. It's so amazing, like getting the right characters. And that's the movies. Like that's the best thing about movies is the casting. Sometimes a movie could probably be better and the casting is off. Somebody didn't tell the way they gave their lines. Maybe the whole movie was good except one moment that didn't hit you the same way. But sometimes they just cast the right people and the movie. And if sometimes
that's it. Yeah, it's like boom.
You could see the whole cast, everybody that they cast in that movie to be legit and make that movie good. And so like in the Avengers, when he was Iron Man, it was like he really is like that's you jumped right in there. Yeah. When they did the X-Men, and and Patrick Stewart was Professor X, I was like a hit. Even if the movie, the first one wasn't that good and it was a little bit off. I don't know
him
if it was,
wheeling in that chair is like
you're like Jesus, it's a comic book come to life.
Yeah,
and all those characters, and so sometimes it's a hit. Like there's,
Wolverine, another one because the sideburns, like the look, the hair, I mean
everything.
It was him.
That's another one.
Rugged,
Hugh Jackman.
Look,
it just.
And Thor, what's this guy? Chris
Hemsworth. Jeez.
Perfect Thor. Like I was like. I think I liked him the way he played in Thor.
Yeah, he like yes, with a little bit of humor. It's serious, but not too serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Obviously, till Thanos comes in and kills everyone. But other than that, like bringing to life the characters. There was years ago they had a TV show where they did Spider-Man, and it was awful. And like he's stick on the wall, and it was a TV show and it didn't last long. And it was probably maybe only like 3 feet up off the floor. And he just looked awful. It looked like he was faking he put his legs up and he was holding on. It was uncomfortable. And then his like web was like a rope and it just looked stupid. I guess they tried to do something way before the technology was there. Mm-hmm. And then Tobey Maguire gets Spider-Man and you're like,
I actually think that was the best. That's the best Spider-Man. I don't know why.
I think the other guys are good. Yes, that might be the best. Yeah.
He like when it was him. Like when you see that dorky look, he fitted.
It's perfect. Yeah, that's the thing. That's going back. Like that's the thing about movies. Now, I can go back to being a teenager and just be impressed by acting and wanting to do something with it. And one of the stories, there was an audition from Mad TV. And there was this open casting, and I tried to go. I was really going to try to like make my way. It was like do a little comedy, but the acting part I wanted to get into. And I got too scared to go in, and I kind of had the anxiety and fear. And I really had some good jokes, or at least I did. And I think my biggest fear was I felt like I was going to shit in my pants. That was my problem. Like I was scared. I was afraid of it. But then I fast forward and look back, and I'm like, now I would have been like, if I felt like if I shit my pants, I'd be like, all right, what? I don't have any underwear. What's the worst that could happen now? I'm going in that audition. I don't have any underwear, and I just shit myself. I can't get any more embarrassed, right? But I didn't think like it then. And then fast forward, I thought about it again, tried to get into acting, and it was just, there was anxiety. And there wasn't a lot of support, like that's what you should do. You keep trying. I didn't know how to fight through it. Fast forward later, a buddy of mine, he got into acting, and then I reached out to him, and I used to help him. Like run his characters and run lines back and forth and analyze it. And I was getting it right. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I went and I took a class and I did it. And even though I forgot my lines and it like on an open stage a couple of times at different points, I knew that's what I wanted to do. So after that, it was easy to learn to watch TV shows and movies to see who the characters are. Not just that I can do it. Oh, could I do this character? Could I play that character? But to understand the casting. Getting in there helped me understand the people that they're picking and why they're picking it. Everybody feels like they're perfect for every role, but everybody's not.
Do you think Iron Man is really that, or you think something's gonna pop off that's gonna
I think I think the one thing that's good about the superhuman, superhero characters is like a soap opera. You can always bring characters back from the dead. Did anybody ever watch a soap opera and get fooled when, let's say the guy's name is Joseph. Joseph turns up in the dramatic. Were you surprised that Joseph was going to come back? And people go like, I can't believe it. Joseph's back from the dead. So I think it's there, but it doesn't have to be him. I think it could be, you got to find the right substitute to replace it. Like, you see the new Captain America that they picked?
I can't. We were watching it. What was the name of the show? The
Falcon.
Yeah. And
the Winter Soldier.
It was okay. I'm hearing that the new Captain America is actually receiving death threats.
Yeah. So
In
this is
real
how
life.
crazy people are. This is just another element of how crazy, and use this the right way, how fucking crazy people are. So Wyatt is Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell. It was Wyatt Russell. That's their kid. And I've seen it. He's been in a couple of things, and he's smaller, low key. He's got a different feel for it. So they put him in there, and they did an interview, and he's like, look, I'm not the Captain America you're used to. There's a different Captain America. There's a reason why it happens. And I guess some people like hard to watch because it's not their guy. But yeah, this guy, this is how stupid, this is what people do, sitting around who have nothing, who join in on stupidity, leave stupidity alone. If you weren't stupid before you read it, don't become stupid. Don't send death threats. It's just stupid. But that's what they did. And so they threatened him that if he continues as Captain America, they're going to come get him. Do you think that Wyatt Russell is sitting there going, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do this. You guys pay me a lot of money. I'm going to pass on the money. We're going to have to get someone else. They really, really, really don't want me to do it. No, they're just saying, there are people sitting at home typing their threats who are never going to get out of the chair, who are never going to maneuver past maybe the microwave, or if they go to work, and that's it.
They're looking out the front door for the Amazon package.
Right, they got a security camera, and they're like, package is here. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll kill you, Wyatt. Don't you ever be Captain America. And then they, and then they run out. It's just stupid. You can't say it many more. There are a lot of stupid people out in this world. A lot. And they do stupid things, hence being stupid people, but they don't stop doing stupid things. It's a consistency that they follow. And it's unfortunate, but it's in everything,
Do you like the series? Have you seen it?
I watched the first episode, right? And I wanted to jump into it, and I had to finish up WandaVision, and it's not because I also watched Star Wars, and so I was catching up on the animated part of Star Wars. I forgot the name of it right now, but there's 2 series, so I'm trying to get through 1 and then jump out and watch different things, and then get to 2 and then get through it. And I like it. I don't like Fast and Furious. I can watch it, but I'm not going to be overly impressed by it, right? So you could make Fast and Furious 12, and probably it'll work.
I'm done with Fast and Furious. Listen, after the third one, it was a wrap. We got a caller coming in, another 516, and 516. It's the same number.
Oh, okay, Giambi, come back.
Sean, what up? Sean. Mike, what up?
Yeah, no. Time out.
Hey.
Sheen. Where's Sheen?
Sheen. You can call me. Is Sean? Yes, Sheen is not here today.
Yo, listen, that thing you was talking about, the WandaVision and all that shit.
Yeah.
What were you watching? The Clone Wars?
Yes, that's it. Clone Wars. Sorry.
All right, dope. That's what's up. Clone Wars is dope.
Yeah, it really is. It's good. It gives you that middle story. And I like that stuff. I like the whole story.
Yeah. Did you watch Rebels?
No. So I'm finishing up with Clone Wars, and then I want to take a break before I jump. I want to finish WandaVision, then jump back into Rebels to catch up with that. Because now they have a new one called The Bad Batch coming out.
No, listen.
Yes.
After Clone Wars, watch Star Wars: The New Hope, number 4.
Yeah.
And then watch the one before it. And then you watch Rebels.
Then watch Rebels. Watch Rogue One before that?
Shit.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna find out some new shit about Darth Maul and this new guy with the what's his name? The blue. Oh shit, this shit is sick, my nigga.
All right. I'm in. I'll do that. I'll jump back and forth. But it's like
then after Rebels, you gotta watch Rogue One.
So after Rebels, watch Rogue One.
Yes, it all comes together. It's fucking dope. I don't know how George Lucas did that shit 40 years ago, but this shit comes entwined now.
It's crazy, right? Like
Fucking crazy.
his Star Wars, the Star Wars stuff, the Star Trek things, like
So they did with the way they did with Star Wars. They did it with Star Trek. Like they back?
they went back and they scrambled. It's crazy that this is like, so when you get this, like Lucas did it in the 70s, but Roddenberry did all these storylines in the 60s, and they and in our society they didn't accept it. Like, so when the original Star Trek with Shatner, they pitched it as a TV show, and none of the networks would take it. They would just like this sci-fi, just bullshit. Yeah. So Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz had a production company called Desilu, and they took a shot at it. They took a shot at a lot of things that other people wouldn't do, and they made a fortune off of it. I mean, they were ahead of their time when it came to producing, but they saw the vision in it. Now they can't. I think they canceled it too soon. But the amazing thing about it is, in reruns from the 70s all the way through, it's still a hit. Like if you're a kid and that was on in reruns, you wanted to watch your favorite. You were just looking to hope that they had your favorite Star Trek episode on, And then in '79 they made the movie, and it was Odyssey was a big, beautiful movie. It was amazing, and then they made Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, and it was just and it just kept giving you more elements of it, and then they have other stories. But he wrote these stories for Star Trek, and there's a lot of them. There's tons of books. He wrote the basis of these stories in the 60s, in the 50s to the 60s, way before. Like we were still on. It's the robots that were coming to get you, and you're like, you could fall 10 times before the robot get there, and technically survive, but not in the movie. And now the aliens were moving a little bit faster, and our savior Captain Kirk was hooking up with green women. So. That's right. He was sharing the love way before it was, technically.
Slapping him around.
Yeah, he kissed Uhura, who was an African American woman on the show. He had all colors, Shatner was. Yeah, that's the sound. All right, who's coming in? No one here.
I get the same conversation that I had with you just now with the guys that I work with at the hospital.
Oh yeah.
They're all fucking geeks. They're all geeks. Yo, they're all geeks, bro, but they're fucking paid geeks.
But yeah, you need something else in your life other than what you do. And some people took up sci-fi, some people took up sports, some people just don't socialize and all they do is read and make money, and those are those philanthropist billionaires who are unsocial, but they just don't know how to have a regular conversation with a guy, but all they do is read everything, don't care about their phones, and make millions and billions of dollars. Billions. And
they're still geeks. And
they're still geeks in a certain way. And then you got those hedge fund guys. Those guys that are sitting there that are those are all like the geeks. Well, that's it. Like Star Trek and Star Wars and all the stuff all the sci-fi that comes from that created the amazing stuff that we have now. Look at J.J. Abrams. Okay, J.J. Abrams was a big fan of all that stuff. He didn't just like one or the other. He wasn't just a Star Trek guy or a Star Wars guy. He was both. So he went in there and he immersed himself in all those Star Trek. Those new Star Treks with Chris Pine are amazing. He rewrote that storyline, and then they gave him Star Wars. Like, that's unheard of to give some kind of like sci-fi director two major storylines, but he did it, and he did a great job with it too. So
yeah, he did. He damn sure did.
So you're into both of them.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I am.
We grew up on that shit, B.
Yeah, because it was hard to. It was hard to. Yes, in the RKO.
RKO, and then at 11:30 at night, it's 11 o'clock, Channel 11, Star Trek. Come on.
Yeah, every Channel 11, 10 o'clock.
And after that, it was the Honeymooners.
The Honeymooners.
Yeah.
And then
the anthem, and All Static.
Yeah, and then you had to move. Well, I would be up late if I was at work, and I would have to go to Channel 9 or 7. 7 would have the late night movie, and then the late movie.
I forgot about that.
They had the late.
I was telling my son that at night that we would hear the anthem and TV
and then
would
the
go
TV
out. That's
it was just snow.
Yeah.
It was just snow in the
no
background.
way. I'm like, yo, for real. Like it would go out and that's it.
That was
You know,
it. You had to wait
Those
till
are the good old days.
wait till 5 o'clock in the morning for the first.
Yeah, some channels was ended with the Twilight Zone. Some of them with MASH.
Yeah,
Oh,
Twilight Zone and MASH. Talk about TV. Now MASH was a movie first, and they
Yeah.
did this movie, and it was this song, it has words, and it's deeply, deeply depressing. Those words.
Very, yeah.
It's a song. So they wrote the movie, and it's basically about a MASH unit is a mobile military hospital in a war zone. You know, I forgot what it stands for, but it's mobile something something hospital. I got the M and the H, not the A and the S. So and they built it, and they have it around these characters, and the song is "And suicide is painless, and it brings on many changes," and it leads us. It's a song about suicide. So after the movie, they got rid of the words, and they just kept the music.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so then they made a TV show for it, which was very successful. It was a really good TV show.
Do you guys?
Very good.
Do you
love
guys
MASH.
miss watching the A-Team? And I'm talking about the original.
Yeah, I don't miss the movie.
Like,
the
No. The movie, no.
The show, yeah. The show, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah,
you know
the
what's
show,
what-
hell yeah.
what's great about that, like the TVs that TV shows, they had good songs.
Yeah.
They had good catchy songs. So
It was branded.
yeah.
Well branded.
right, like what if you knew had a good show that you liked, you knew the song, and you didn't have to know the words if it had any. You just hummed it. Dean, like you name it, like so the A-Team was like.
Dun, 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 dun.
So yeah, and so that was a
Best show song ever. Go.
Yeah.
best show song ever.
Best theme.
I'll be there for you.
Was that Friends?
Yes, Friends.
Nah, fuck that.
I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Studio Mike, what you got, Studio Mike?
I'm
Man,
joking.
I'm thinking this is a good one because you're gonna have to take me. I'm gonna have to go back on this one.
You gotta, come on. 2 seconds.
Twilight
Yes.
Zone, man.
Yeah, Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone. Come on, man. How could you not get scared with
You
the
be
lights
walking,
out?
Yeah, you be walking tippy-toeing around the house and you're like, fuck.
You
put
open
the
a
lights
door.
on.
As soon as you see one of those episodes, you look at everything differently. Like and you know what's funny? They tried to make that show 2 more times, and one time recently, and it's bombed. And I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like you could redo some of those stories.
Yeah.
It's something about that
But that
black and
origin-
white
yeah.
and just watching it and then you're like, shit.
Picture this.
All right. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
Best all-time theme song for me. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
The
I
Great
never
American
thought
Hero.
I'd be so free. Hell yeah, that was
It's
my
great to
shit.
hear someone try. He. Just it didn't even matter about anything else that you said. It was the he. Yeah, that was good. Thanks, Giambi. I appreciate it.
Yo, Mike, I'll talk to you later, man. I'll give you a call before I leave work.
All right, peace out, man.
All right, later.
Yeah. So, in our movies,
I was telling my son that the original A-Team, the guy could be 6 feet away from you and nobody ever died. Nobody ever got shot.
yeah. Well, I liked. Yeah, every time they shot, it was always in 2 straight lines, and they stood there and they would duck, right, and it would go, and then they would turn and then automatically shoot back. You're like, well, these guys aren't going to get shot, so I'm not worried about it.
Bad guys would always go flying and
Yeah.
shit, but no body parts.
But they would flip. Yeah, no body parts, and they wouldn't die either.
It was the violent but non-violent.
Right, like they were clear. We're not going to kill the bad guys. We're just going to have them flip into the air because we want to throw things around. So, yeah. Like you watch a comedy and something happens and it bounces and it throws a person in the air. Well, this one's always an explosion, So, yeah, that the A-Team was good, the TV show. But what we were saying, like that again, even that goes to the casting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they put in Mr. T, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he's supposed to be angry. The whole thing is supposed to be angry. They brought in George Papard, who's a well actor.
Hold
Hannibal.
on. Now that you say that, Face, did they replace the actor on Face? Because I was trying to show him the original A-Team.
Mm-hmm.
Giambi, I know you're listening on this one, but so the first episodes of A-Team, that was a different Face from the one I was used to.
Oh, so I know. I'd have to double check that. It might have been the pilot. It might have been the pilot and then after that they changed.
Because
They did that.
everybody was different minus Face. Everybody's the same minus Face.
They did different things. Yeah, Face. He was in that TV show. Going back to the '80s, Battlestar Galactica. He was one of the main characters in there, and I forget his name. But yeah, maybe I'd have to look. I think maybe he wasn't in the pilot, but
And I could say one of the most catchy themes back then would probably be the Love Boat.
the Love Boat. Soon we'll be making lots of love.
Because that shit would come
The
on, you'd be cracking
Love
up.
Boat.
Like,
You know, but that was the whole idea. They would take actors, big time actors from other shows and stuff like that, and use them as guests. So you're going on a cruise ship, and who are they going to hook up with, or they just need a break, and then it was all these things, and their marriages on the rocks, and then after the Love Boat, you jumped into Fantasy Island,
oh yeah,
which was like high and low.
Tattoo, they playing.
Yeah.
Okay, boss, look,
They're playing, boss, they're playing. Welcome to Fantasy Island. But then they made a movie on it. And you hear the recurring theme is they take a good TV show, they try to refashion it to something that they think society will like now or people will like now. They give it a script, somebody writes it, and they ruin it. Mm-hmm. Because then for you, the TV show will never be anything to watch. For us, we've already watched it. And then we make the movie and you think, do I want to watch it? And you watch it and you're disappointed.
Talking about the movies, have you seen the Tom and Jerry?
No, but I do. I do want to see it.
I'm a big Tom and Jerry fan, and I don't like. Man, it's like
I want to see it. I just it's like here's an element about Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry was really a violent cartoon, absolutely violent cartoon. Tom and Jerry. Tom's a cat, Jerry's a mouse. What is a cat supposed to do? It's supposed to chase down the mouse, and he tried to kill him every single day. He tried to kill that mouse. But let me explain something to you.
He always ended up fucked up.
Okay, yes. But think back to an episode when he thought Jerry was dead. He thought he killed him. He tried to revive him.
Yeah, he had compassion.
Okay,
yeah.
so you see that? Like that should be that's the episode they should just replay over and over and over. You can hate somebody and
It's
you just
a miracle they haven't scrapped it.
Well, they tried to redo it in the
No, I'm saying that they haven't scrapped it. Saying that like the cancer culture.
Well, they let so it's there for you to buy. Mm-hmm. It's not you want to buy it, then you can view it. Mm-hmm. But then they didn't want to put it out there. It's the same thing like the Little Rascals. Bill Cosby bought the Little Rascals. He deemed it was too racist for regular TV, so he bought it and took it off the air. But you could purchase each episode for $9.99. So clearly he was okay with the money. But just not the content to put out there was bad. It was racist, and it was. I mean, you have to debate. I don't remember it being racist, but it was because of like the two black kids, the two African American kids. They made them and they did that all like derogatory. I think that yes, that could have been considered. I don't know for the whole show, but just what they did with the character. Mm-hmm. That stereotype that they played on it. Very ignorant. Not able to speak, but. That being said,
the one thing that I gotta say,
yes,
is if you think about it, all the cartoons that we grew up on, right?
Yes, sir.
You didn't have to speak English to understand them, because the character really 90% of the time didn't talk.
Well, none of those those cartoons, it wasn't dialogue, except
you got you could be a foreign. And you're watching it and you're laughing because you get it.
Look at the Roadrunner.
Yeah, I showed him. I showed him Roadrunner last time. I'm like,
look at this, the Roadrunner. You want to talk about a violent cartoon?
Yeah.
The coyote tried to blow up, shoot, stab, maim, crush the coyote.
Never got to touch him.
The Roadrunner. The Roadrunner, and never touched him. Blew himself up repeatedly. Stabbed himself accidentally. Crushed himself and every bone in his body every episode. That was violent. Yeah, shooting guns and I like the fact that he would time the anvil perfect in the spot where the Roadrunner would go, and then the Roadrunner would get there and he would drop it and it wouldn't move, and he would go underneath it and look at it and be like, well, why isn't it falling? And then it would just fall down and it would crush him.
It's like me.
And then he would come back and be like, I'm just too fast for this. Fuck off. Yeah. But then, there's no casting there. There's just great artwork and digital artwork. And they made everything violent back then. Everything was about fighting, animals beating each other up. So it was the fantasy that they were doing. Oh, my God.
That was my favorite right there, that dog with him.
Yeah, the sleepy dog.
What is it, the sheepdog?
The sheepdog.
Man, he would be after Roadrunner.
So that
and get his
episode
ass kicked.
is that he has the rock and he puts the wood on it, and the coyote climbs up the tree and he has the dog sitting on the edge of it, and he's trying to jump off the tree onto the wood and catapult the dog into the air, but the dog's too heavy and he just flips right back over into the dog's hands.
Yeah, and the dog grabs him and beats his ass.
Yeah, and beats him up. It's like you tried to you shoot me off the mountain. But going back to what we were saying about like the casting part, is that, you know, for the TV shows and the movies that we like, there's people that are hired to get the right people to tell the story.
Yeah.
You know, like we were the A-Team. George Papard was a great actor. And you convince a guy, you know, to, hey, I got an idea. I mean, you've done movies, you're well known, and you can, to see who he is when he was younger. If you ever see Breakfast at Tiffany's, it's a great movie, but his character in there is young. So here he is, older, this well-known actor for theater and movies, and they convince him because TV wasn't TV from the 60s to the 70s was what you did between working on Broadway and movies. They really, the powers that be, the most of the real actors, and they frowned upon TV, and TV became more important later in life. But convincing these legends of acting to take this role, this smaller road on TV, that they were, you know, you wouldn't be 100% sure that you were going to be successful at it. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that they thought that the A-Team was funny, but they didn't think they were going to get like 4 seasons out of the A-Team. Yeah, and they did. So casting is everything. Everything we watch there's a group of people, and you'll see CSA castings, you know, like their job. And some of them are amazing, and they've casted some of the greatest TV shows and movies. But their job is to find the people to make the roles that they need for this pop, to make it pop. So to give it, like when you were saying Fast and the Furious, right? So when you're casting the whole idea and the concept of that story, you take the 2 main characters. You take Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. Vin Diesel's character works. It works for that. You know, the legend, talking, being tough. You know, I live my life a quarter mile. You know, and then Paul Walker trying to figure out who he... Paul Walker wasn't a good actor. Was not a good actor. Mm-hmm. Okay, he was a very pretty guy in great shape, and like that's it. He was a good-looking guy, and they gave him... He was not a good actor. He just had good moments. Mm-hmm. And it fit, because not being good or great at it, let's say he was a good actor, not great, is that the element of what he was doing with it was that he was awkward. He's undercover, trying to fit in. And so it kind of worked. Mm-hmm. So that casting was good. And so that was okay. Everyone else fits, you know, and they kick some people off and they bring some people in. And you go, you know, Fast and Furious 7, and they need to add people, so they bring in John Cena as Vin Diesel's brother. And like, come on, you know, like I get like, because you know why? Because the wrestler and the element of that, and you know, it's they're just running out of ideas.
I think, yeah,
they're just running out of ideas.
Are they in space yet?
Well, almost. They're getting a lot of space between people and them watching it. So that's the space they got right now.
Fast and the Furious,
yeah,
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah. Star Wars, Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Fast and the Furious 27.
Yo, it's crazy. It's like,
yeah.
It's almost like that. You remember Police Academy? I thought Police Academy
6.
and Rocky took it to the extreme.
I mean, yeah, and that's it. Like, well, see, with Rocky, though, he was handling everything. So as long as he wanted to keep writing a script, they were like, all right.
They were entertaining.
He wrote the last Rocky, and it was like, you know, all right. So imagine a boxer who's 60 years old fighting a guy who's 30 years old or 35 years old, right? You wouldn't want to watch that. You wouldn't watch that in real life. No way. The guy's gonna die. That 60-year-old boxer is gonna die. There's no 60-year-old boxer that's gonna outbox even one of the worst 30-year-olds. You know, like if the top 100 boxers, if you gave me 99, and you gave me a 62-year-old boxer or a 63-year-old boxer, okay, who do you think's gonna win? You think that 63-year-old boxer has a shot at it? But that's what they did with the movie. He can do, because he can maneuver that. So what he promised was, I'll give you more Rocky movies, but it won't be me boxing. it will be me training.
Mhm.
And they were like, well, who are you training? And it was like, I'm a trainer, Apollo Creed's kid. And they were like, get the fuck out of here. And he did. And he gave them that element. So they were okay with that, Rocky, as long as he gave them the other two. And then they did Rambo. Okay, and they were like, how do we end Rambo? It's like, I know, we blow up his ranch, and he walks away after they killed the last remaining relative. And that's what they did. They killed off his last remaining relative. The cartel comes after him. He kills the cartel, blows up his house in the process, and that's the end of Rocky. I mean,
Sweetness, we see you. What's up, Sweetness? Sweetness from the Talk Up. Check in. I'm sorry about that, Sweetness. I meant to get back to you earlier. We see you. What's up?
what's going on?
But yeah, it's like what would you say you wouldn't mind seeing a remake of? Because they notice they're doing a lot of remakes. Have they done a remake yet? Of
Any
Smokey and the
remake
Bandit?
wait, I'm sorry to cut you off, but any remake I get cast in is the one I want to see. I don't give a shit what it is at that point.
Have they tried a Smokey and the Bandit?
See, no, but now that you mention that, that would be great for me. No. First, I'd have to drive. And the joke behind that is I don't drive, so.
He'll be the gas station guy. Come
Yeah.
on, pull in.
Now, I'd be the sheriff, but I'd have my deputy drive me. Yeah, no, they haven't tried that. Because I think there are certain movies that are untouchable, like by any standard, you know? Like they did Smokey and the Bandit too. Like that's when you know it's pretty fucked up. Like, but so that's because you ruin it with the second one.
Yeah.
You don't want to look Smokey. What
if that doesn't come out, within a reasonable amount of time?
Right.
Leave it alone.
You leave it alone. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, how many times was there another movie that you were like, oh, you should like the minute you heard a 2 attached to any movie, you're like, this is awful. But I mean, even those movies, even those bad like I watch bad movies every once in a while. At least once a week, I watch a bad movie. And what I mean by bad movie is script is no good. Some of the shots don't look right. The actors are like very unenthusiastic.
Did you like what's the name of the movie? Shit, on Netflix. Come on.
Well, that narrows it
De
down.
Niro.
That's still narrowing it down. Which one? Is he the
villain.
the mobster?
Irishman.
Oh, okay, so that's based on a book.
I didn't like it. I'm sorry.
You didn't like it?
I think it was
So that guy tells
bad.
I think it was too long. Right, but it's based on a book. So that guy
He couldn't even bend over to beat the guy's ass. It was
Well-
like, come on, they should have at least got two villains to really play that part.
Yeah, well, one of the things they dyed it, they digitally made him look younger. They gave him lifts to make him taller. And when there's a scene when he's doing that thing where he's
It was
like
crazy,
stomping, and you can clearly see that he's like,
Yeah.
it's just, that was bad. Like, yes, if you turn to the side and it's somebody and you're like physically stomping on something, but
There's an old guy out here kicking the shit out of
Yeah.
some guy on the floor.
yeah, they were like, "What's that guy convulsing?" They didn't know he was. They called the EMTs to rescue him. It was like
Yeah.
they didn't realize that he wasn't convulsing. He wasn't having a seizure. He was kicking the guy on the floor.
I just showed him the
But-
Casino the other day, yesterday.
You can't believe that those are the same
It was
actors.
crazy, yeah.
You know? And I think, again, well, that see, that's hard because that's just a movie to make a movie.
Yeah.
You get the people. John Wayne was known for that. John Wayne was not a great actor. John Wayne has 180 movies, maybe even more, maybe 200, and he wasn't a good actor. But he stood. His presence. He was 6'6", 240 pounds. He was an American hero. That's what he looked like on it. It's like they had movies that were made to inspire you, and that's what he did. And he was a cowboy, and he was a colonel, and he was a general, and he was a cop, and he was a detective, and he was in charge. And and there were so many times where his roles they're just his. Mm-hmm. But what he would do is every once in a while he'd get together with a group, they'd write a script, and whatever the story is, let's say cowboys and Indians, bad cowboys, good cowboys, Union military, whoever it may be, and he would get the storyline, and he would get all his friends, okay? And they would go down to Palm Beach, and that's where they would do their reading of it. And he just shot these movies so that they could all hang out together. These are men and women, friends he made through the business. He would get his favorite directors, personally, and they would go and they would head out and film this movie. And they would make tons of money because who doesn't want to see at a time when all American, in the 50s, 60s and 70s, you need all American. They need the ride, the 50s, after the war in the 40s, you needed an element that even if it was fabricated, wasn't true, it needed you to feel patriotic. And that's what he did. He made people feel patriotic, to not like whoever you're told the bad guys are. If he's fighting the Indians, then the Indians are the bad guys because they're resistant. If he's fighting the Germans, it's like Germans are bad. Whatever they chose to make the bad guys, he fought them, and people were inspired by that. Now, the Indians weren't the bad guys. There's bad Indians and there's bad, white men.
Could you see another Back to the Future?
Yeah, I could see it, but I just
can't.
can't see. I just I'm just like the car won't, like when Marty's driving the car, it's going to be a little bit like this.
Tesla.
It's going to be like this.
Yeah, come back with a Tesla. Yeah. Damn, this one's
Yeah. It's going to like zigzag and it's going to crash and it's going to be the end of the movie.
Oh, shit. Go to hell.
Yeah, that's where the show's going, so might as well join it, right? Just jump right in there. Sorry, Michael J. Fox. Yeah, I think so. I think people would be worried about redoing it, but I think you can redo it. It might, look, they made four of them, and they're all good.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I think you can redo it for another generation, just not try to redo one of those episodes. Add to it. Take something from that, maybe his kid, and then, just enough that it's campy and fun, but not to be taken too seriously. When you try to do something with a remake of it and you get it, people want to take it too seriously, you lose it. It loses the luster, whatever it's supposed to do for you. There's a lot of movies that they did like sequels to, and it ruins what the point is. But making a 2 to any movie ruins it immediately. Look, here's a great movie. Probably one of the greatest cinematic movies of all time is The Godfather. Okay? I used to watch The Godfather at Christmas time because it's all about family. But it is a mobster, gangsters. Okay? So, based on a book. Great book. The movie is good. The book is amazing. They made a Godfather 2. Godfather 2 is amazing. Well, why stop there? Let's ruin a franchise. Or try to. So they made The Godfather 3, third part to it. And it was awful. It just didn't go. And so if you wade in on that by the third one, you'll never watch any of them again. But some people refuse to watch the second one because it leads you to the third one. Mm-hmm. So they just watch the first one again and stay there. The Godfather, I would have to say, if I was going to give my top 5 movies of all time, is I don't know what 2 is, but that would definitely be 1, maybe 2. I don't know if I had to switch them around, if there was another one. I had to think about it but that's the one I could watch over and over and over. AMC did a thing called Timeline. And so what they did was they took the 3 movies, which is almost 3 hours each, and they have the DVD extras. In each movie, they have all these parts of the movie that were cut out. So each movie's 3 hours. It could have been longer, but they edited out all these things. So in Timeline, what they did was they edited so all the clips and all the movies go in order instead of bouncing back and forth, because the storyline bounces back and forth. Have you ever seen The Godfather? Okay. So in the movies, it'll say when they're 80 and then tell a story when he was 10. Then tell a story when he's 80 and then tell a story when he's 50. And then tell a story when he's 60 and then go back to telling a story when he was 13. Okay? So what they did, and each movie does that, not just for the main.
Star Wars needs to do that because I give up.
Because
I
they're all
don't watch nothing that's not from our generation.
See, so that's harder because what they did was they gave you so in the timeline they filled in all the pieces and they did this whole movie and it's 12 hours. And I watched it. You can't watch it in one day, but I watched it, right? Star Wars, if you did that, you'd have to watch all those movies together. And plus what Giambi was saying is then you'd also have to watch the animated shows because the animated shows are filling in this middle between each movie. There's storylines between each movie.
And all that other shit. Yeah.
When he turns bad and how we find out where does he get the dark power that is not just in him. So when we watch the movies, He was deep down inside, he was a angry little bitch. Hayden Christensen was probably angry because he wasn't that good of an actor. But, you know, he was just angry on the show. And in the animated storyline, Clone Wars, it tells more about that. It tells more about the connection and when he finds out where he's from and where his power comes from and what levels off the good and bad and everybody's, you know, and the concern. And so Rebels leads to the story of all the rebels. And like, it's a lot. But they did that to fill it in.
What Star Wars is it that when Luke meets Yoda and he crashes his ship into which one is that?
That is
Come on, Giambi. I know you're
well
there.
that's wait. He meets Yoda in
when he crashes the ship
Empire Strikes Back.
and he's upside down in the
Yeah.
swamp.
He meets in Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
Right. And so
And that would be like in the new with the new movies in it, it'd probably be like really the 5th movie now.
yeah. So cuz you right, so it would be those first 3 movies were awful,
Yeah.
you know. Then the ones that we know from our youth there would be 1, 2 and 3 are really 4, 5 and 6.
4, 5, and 6. Yeah, that's
You
it.
know.
I'm lost.
So we would be at 5, but to fill in the gap in each one, we have Rogue One, which tells the story of how the rebels got the information that they got, right? And then Clone Wars fills in spots between before and when he's young. So the thing about Hayden Christensen's character as the young Vader is that Clone Wars tells you all that he was a good guy. He fought the good fight with all the good guys, but they don't have time to tell you that in the movies. So that's what Clone Wars does. Clone Wars fills in before 1, between 2, 3, 4.
It goes BC.
Right, BC. Yeah, it goes BV. It goes before Vader. Yeah. So, but and again, think about that. Just think about this for Star Wars. I was saying about casting, right? Harrison Ford didn't have a lot of track record there, you know. Didn't have a lot of track record there.
Fucking
And
Indiana Jones. It's
Indiana Jones, man. You know, here they made 4 Indiana Jones. So it's like, and I think they were even talking about making another one, but they kind of squashed that. And I think if they do a remake, I would be the perfect fit for it. I mean, I would show you a picture. I have a character that I was one day was just drinking, and I had a hat, and I had this like full outfit. It looked just like it, and I was calling him Idaho Jones, Indiana Jones's unsuccessful like drunken brother, who stumbles upon everything that he does, and even though he's bad at finding things, he just likes to drink. That was it. It's not really a character. I just did it for dress up. But and so Harrison Ford, Princess Leia's character, I am Princess Leia herself. Why can't I think of her name right now? She just passed away. But all the characters that were brought in there, like even the guy that played Obi-Wan Kenobi, okay? This is a trained theater actor. Shakespeare, Hamlet, some of the biggest things in the world, like Sir. I'm bad with names right now, and I should probably have it written down right at this moment. But he just, that's casting is everything. I think the point it keeps going back to is that finding the right movie, and then don't watch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Don't do it, because it's gonna ruin what it is for you. And you're gonna get a few remakes every once in a while. The TV show Battlestar Galactica that we watched as kids, they remade it, not too long ago. You didn't like it? But I liked it. I was surprisingly good. Now you take a movie that they made out of a game, and they made Battleship, and it was disgusting. It was awful.
I don't even think
Because what the character they put Brooklyn Decker in there. Now Brooklyn Decker is a beautiful model, a bikini model, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Does nothing for you as saving the world. She's in a bikini in half of it. How does that save the world? It distracts the bad guys for a moment, and then we sneak in and we kill them and we win, and that's how we save the day. No? Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, what we do? So I think we covered everything today.
Actually, we took it back. Flashback. We could name this episode.
This should have been. This
Flashback
is
to
just
the 80s.
flashback to the 80s.
On TV.
Yeah, like everything that you watched when you were a kid molded you in a way, like what you liked.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to become a superhero, but you probably couldn't fly, which meant you probably went out and tried to like work out and get that super physique, or you saw a great cop movie like Police Academy and you were like, I want to be a cop and I want to make those sounds and I want to arrest people.
My favorite show growing up was like probably Airwolf. Airwolf was always cool. Like, Airwolf, 18, like shit like that.
Yeah,
Cool.
they told a good story. When you were watching it, they tell a good story. And I guess that's good. TV shows don't tell good, some do, but don't really tell good stories anymore. They're just giving you the product, give you all the episodes for the attention. Like Stranger Things, that's a good story. Stranger Things is a good story. And I think the progression of that will keep going. Like, that's a good story. They did a great job there. Casting, also everything. The guy who plays the sheriff.
How about Harry Potter? You into that whole Harry Potter?
No, I mean, I've watched the episodes, but I'm not, like, fanatical about it. Like some people I know.
I don't think I've watched one Harry Potter movie. Not one.
No?
I can't get into it.
But I watch it, and it's a movie, and it's done. And then there's 2, and there's a continuation, 3. And I guess the thing that helps in those movies is that you watch them as actors go from little kids to teenagers to young adults. So you see them progress. Then they're also wizards. It's also the wizards and witches and all the other things that go with that. You a big fan of? You read the books too?
Of Harry Potter?
Harry Potter? No?
Not a fan.
Not a fan of the books? Did you try to read it, or was it
Too big.
too...
Can you see a remake of Beetlejuice?
Yeah, they want to make another one, but they're not, but bring the characters back. So
Talking about Beetlejuice,
the characters are in there.
Where are they filming a Sopranos? Like, I'm going far left on this, but when are they filming a Sopranos movie?
Oh yeah, they are. It's the
They were like I think they were in mid filming, like right before COVID hit.
yeah.
And they were doing it like in Jersey City, and all that shit.
They were filming it in Newark.
Yeah,
It's like the Kings of Newark or something like that, or something of Newark. They gave it a name like that
I'm a
because
big Sopranos fan. I love the Sopranos, so I'm waiting for that one.
Sopranos was like I think you hear people that were disappointed about the ending. That
I was
last
mad. I was
episode.
like, yeah.
But you know what? It made you talk about it. It made the world
Cliffhanger.
talk about it. Right. It just leaves you out there trying to figure out what's going on. Who's or be disappointed.
happened?
Be
Yeah.
happy. Be disappointed. Whatever. And that's what they did. Sopranos was. Yeah. I don't know if they knew what they had in the very beginning, but it progressed.
Yeah.
From the pilot, you could see it looks different, and then it progresses, and it's a really season 1 is so good what the characters do. And some people didn't watch it because they like the mob tale of it, but there's so much more. There's family deceit, there's revenge, there's
Bunch
anger,
of fucking dirt naps.
right? Dirt naps, sleep with the fishes, like everything about it was. It just gave you all hot and cold, good and bad, and everything in it. So what, like Sopranos, again, goes back to what I say. When you watch movies now, look at the people that are in there. Study them a little bit more, and you'll start to see, like, some people are just reused because they look good, or something about them appeal to someone else and they like them, so they keep reusing them and adding them to things, and it doesn't really do it for you. Some characters, like, everybody's good, but I could do without that guy. Or
I think the last worst movie that I seen was Gotti
Gotti. I didn't watch Gotti.
with
I didn't say.
Travolta.
I didn't watch Gotti. I didn't watch it yet.
To see Travolta, it was just
He got the blessing of the family.
Yeah.
Oh, forget about it.
And-
Nah.
it's just no. It wasn't.
The worst movie I have a top 5 worst movies. The worst movie I have ever seen, and I think I can compete with that. The worst movie I'd ever seen, I have to think there's another one, but Mall Cop was. Mall Cop was. I think I might have left the last 5 minutes of it.
You wanted your 2 hours of life back?
Yeah, I don't know. I stopped watching it, and I laid there, and I was like, I'm a waste. I'm a waste. Those 2 hours, I could have done something creative. Like, could have learned how to roll a joint or something like that. I don't know. Don't listen to that part. But, I mean, I could have learned how to make a really great cocktail. I don't know, but Mall Cop was like just one of the worst, it's not even a word, but one of the worser movies I've ever seen in my life. You know,
I want to thank Tiffany, Anton, Samantha, Lynn. We see you, Lynn. Victor, and Christine for watching us and chiming in. I see you waving back at you.
thanks for paying attention.
So yeah, and of course Roberto Giambi.
Giambi. Yeah, we got
also for calling in. We appreciate
much
you.
appreciate you, Giambi, for calling twice.
Yeah.
It was like the lines are free. I'm calling right back in.
He
You know?
said, "Sorry, I hung up. I'm at work."
Yeah, that's okay. I can't let them know that I'm on the phone with the show.
Call from the bathroom, cursing him out.
Yeah, they heard him echo. He was like, "Keep it down in there." No, I think it was it's good stuff. It's like it's sports movies. They tell it. Movies, depending on what you're looking for, what you're into, there's now more than ever, there's always something to watch. They make a million TV. Also, it was like we started watching like some foreign TV shows, and they just dub it over in English. And the problem with that is like when you see what the translation is, and whoever they hired as the actors, it's like that's the only thing that messes it up.
Yeah.
You know, you just wish you understood their language
Who
just for that.
translated this
Yeah,
shit?
how much did they get paid? Because I could do as bad as they did for the same amount of money and be very wealthy. There's a lot of good TV out there, right? But it's a lot, and there's a lot of bad TV out there, and there's a lot of bad TV disguised under like with good actors or bad actors in good storylines, and they're just, they just don't produce, and there's nothing you can do. Like Netflix originals. So some of them are their own, and some of them what they do is they buy the production, and then they take it over. Like Cobra Kai. You watch Cobra Kai?
Yes.
Did you watch Karate Kid? The original?
Yeah.
Okay. So Cobra Kai was on YouTube, right? YouTube had their own production, and they put out Cobra Kai, and they put out the first 2 seasons, and Netflix paid them a ton of money to buy up the production, and then take over and with the script with the writers and pay the writers a ton of money. But it wasn't theirs, but it became theirs. And so they do that with a lot of things. And it's not a bad thing. It helps the actors. It helps the production. It helps everybody that works on that show. Now they bump up and they get a bigger paycheck. And it makes it easier when you can get a good paycheck and do what you love to do that you would do for free. But unfortunately, there's a cost of living that you can't do these for free. I've done some like short films and independent films and web series stuff, and I think I got paid for like 2. I have I did an independent film that we worked. It was an LGBTQ movie. It was about gay cruising and fantasy and things that could go wrong. So I have a little role in there, and it was like my character is going one way and a twist the other way, and it's not a movie for everybody. I did a great job. I'll never get a dime for it, but I did a great job. Like the best thing for me was when I was in that audition room and I'm reading for this character, and it's supposed to be a Father Andrew. So you believe that he's listening to confession, but the twist is like he gets aroused and he's like, well, what, But anyway, in the audition room, I have the reader who I'm reading with and the producer and the director. And in the middle of it, they glanced at each other, and he read his lips, and in the middle of me, he was like, he's good, and I was like, wow, like it felt good. I mean, I finished it. I walked out of that audition. I was happy. Like if I didn't get that role, I didn't care. Now I was going to go to the bar, and I was going to drink. I was going to meet. I was just going to be happy. I was like, but I got the role, and we filmed and we shot it, and it was an amazing thing. And you like want to get paid for it. You want notoriety for it, but it's not a movie for everybody. And if it had a different tale of like, it's just unfortunate that it's like one of the women that's in the movie, her husband was there and he watched the screening, and we were like, oh, what did you think of it? And it was like, after a while, he was like, the gay sex. He was like, it's not real gay sex, but it was like, it bothered him that he couldn't get through it. I was like, there's a lot of people that can't.
You banged his wife on screen?
No. But her husband in the movie is supposed to be secretly, he's gay, and he has this like torture fantasies too,
Oh man.
Yeah, and so this stuff is unfolding in the movie, but it's all simulated. It's not real. That's the acting part of it, and like he couldn't take it, and he's like in his 50s, and maybe he was around 60, and he's a straight guy, and he couldn't take it. Like he couldn't watch it. And I was like, I mean, I watched it, but like, it's a movie, you know? So I was joking around, like in the movie theater, it was a wide screen. I took my phone out. My wife's recording it. And they didn't really care, but we were like hiding it and we record it. And there I am, I'm on the screen. So I'm trying to show one of my friends. And I'm explaining the movie and I'm showing it to him. And he's like, well, I can't watch that. He was like, you go down on him? I said, I don't go down on him. I was like, do I look like someone's going down? I said, come on, look, you kiss a dude? Like, no, I'm not kissing a dude. Just, would you take a look at it? I wouldn't show you anything that was sexually derogatory. And besides, it's not real sex. It's a movie. But he couldn't watch it. And I was like, he was so, like, only like homophobe, the idea that I might be like looking like somebody was, going down on me. I was like, but it was good acting. So it's unfortunate. Like I can only, the people that I know in the building that I work at, I went to everybody who was gay. Like, everybody who was gay was like, here you go. Hey, I'm in this. And they liked it, and like, not just because it's a gay fantasy movie, but they say like that it's acting, and it's hard. It's like, one of my female friends, I was talking to them one day and she mentioned that she was flipping through the channels and she saw me in a movie and she was like a priest. And I was like, yeah, that was me. And that was that movie. But, it's not in the mainstream. So not everybody, it's out there. It's on Amazon. It's on iTunes. I was like, but not everybody can watch it, unless they're feeling a little weird and frisky. Then I'd say go out there, look up the movie The Breeding. And after you watch the first 10 episodes, shut it off. Because I'm only in the first 10 episodes. It's a really great scene. And then you can skip it and never look at the rest of it. Don't worry about it. Nobody will know what you paid for it. So, but it was, that's the hard part for me. You want to do more. I love acting and entertaining, I like making people laugh and maybe make somebody cry and, or somebody, when I'm walking down the street, I'll know I did a good job if they yell out the name of my character or something I did. And it's like, hey, aren't you the guy that went down on that priest? No, that's not me.
Yeah,
I'm the priest. I'm the priest. No, but
hey, I remember you from that.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Like, I'll accept it. Okay, I'll sign autographs. You want to pose for a picture? Like, I mean, shit. When I got into acting, my wife was like, hey, listen, what if they have a casting couch? And the story about casting couches, some people had to go on the couch and sleep with the producer to get a role in the movie. That's what casting couch is. And I was like, I don't know why. She goes like, well, what would you do? Would you go down or take it in the butt? And I was like, take it in the butt. And she was like, oh, that's gay. And I was like, not really. It's for a role. I said, besides, I have my iPad, my iPhone. I could watch a movie, play a game. Like, I'm just completely in another world. I'm not paying attention.
Oh, shit.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Where's Sean?
He would have said, like, what? What? Scooby-Doo, are you here? What?
Like,
Yeah, but I like that's. I don't know. I don't know you were there. Yeah, like, I mean, it's not real. I'm really not gonna go down, and somebody's really not gonna. It's just like it's a question. It doesn't mean the real. But for me, I worked on a web series. We got some cool episodes. I work with these guys. Actually, I'm going to be doing an independent film with them. One of the directors is two directors, two African American kids, right? And they're like, listen, they cast me. We got this nice crew, a great bunch of guys we work with, and every other episode I'm in, I read the script and I get shot and killed. And I was like, could you guys have an episode where I don't die? Like, it's just one. And you shot of all, I mean, I think there might be one where I don't, one where I get shot and I don't die. Every other one I did. I'm the character for them. So when he recruits me and he's like, look, Mike, I want you in this short film we're doing. And I'm like, cool, I got it. We're working out that. Like, it's a confidentiality agreement, so I can't tell any storyline. All I can tell you is, I was reading the character, get to the bottom, fucking dies. I was like, come on, man. Like, just once.
Do I have to die?
I was like, yeah, like, can I change, like, in the middle of this storyline, I should just go, look, I changed this, I come back from the dead, I kill everybody, I take my money and I get out, I changed this script, this is bullshit. I'm not that, but it's a good series. It's on YouTube actually. It's called Collections Film Series, and it's a lot of good actors in there. Young, good actors, older. I work with a lot of good people, and I even had some I have 2 little reels of some things that I did. It's Michael T. Durso, actor, on YouTube. You can find me, and right after me, there's the Reverend Michael Durso, and then after him, there's the politician from Long Island, Michael Durso. But stay away from those guys until you've seen mine first. It's Michael T. Durso, actor, then minister, then politician. Okay, yeah. And so it's fun. It's entertaining, and I like it, and you want to do more. You're excited, but there's highs and lows. It's very disappointing and very depressing. When they like you and they want you and they bring you in, you're happy, you're excited. You understand why they get depressed is because you're put your whole vanity into someone else's hands to say that you're pretty enough, that you act well enough, you have the look, you have the talent. And then when they say no or they don't bring you in, all of a sudden you feel like it's you. Well, I thought I was talented. Maybe I'm not that talented. Why am I doing this? It's so stressful. And so I could imagine on a higher level how it must feel for people who have their whole lives have been told, oh my God, you're so good. Oh my God, you're so pretty. Oh my God, you're so talented. Like every time you hear
What time does normal production start? Like filming on sets?
It used to be like day wise. I've been on sets at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and one of the things, even about like extra work, even background and extra work, you hurry up to do nothing. They want you there at 6. They want you in costume at 7. By 7:30, you're on your spot and your set, and then you wait for 2 hours till the actors are ready, till the directors are ready, till everybody's eaten something, till the lights are right, and then you have a window because you need that perfect sunlight. So you have that window for or you rent out a place and you're renting it out for 2 hours. So you have for a day like daylight, you want good sunlight. You want the prime time that the sun is up, and from that so let's say it's 9 o'clock to like 1:30. So you have to film exactly what you want in that window because you want the perfect sun without having to add artificial light to it.
Yeah.
You're inside and you're supposed to be the daytime, but it's the nighttime outside. So you have to brighten it up outside the windows to make it look like it's sunlight. So you have a small window of that because the darker it gets, the harder it is to keep the light. And that causes more lights to be put in. Sometimes you're sitting there and the light is beaming on you and you start sweating and it's hot and you can't be sweating in the scene. We're going to, wipe your brow. One time there's a TV show that Ed Burns did, and it was about cops in Hell's Kitchen. And we're in the bar in this scene, and everybody at this time, and I think it was the 50s, was the timeline of it. Everybody had to smoke. So they had to give you these fake cigarettes, and you just had to smoke it, and then when it was done, you get 3 or 4 each, and you had to wait, and everybody's smoking it, and after a while, you start I smoked when I was younger. I quit smoking at this point, and you're like,
Everybody's coming out all messed up.
Everybody's got no voice. But what you're looking for in that scene, you have to match what you want. So in that script, if it says you're driving and you stick your head out the window, now you got to get the camera set up. You got to see it. You have to stick your head out the window, and it's at nighttime. You're fine. But when you want that daytime, you only have a small window, and you have to and everything right. And I'll tell you what, you'll be on a set for 12 to 15 hours, which they've cut down after COVID. They want to limit it. They want to limit space for people, so it's going to take a little longer. So they want to extend it, but they're willing. These studios are willing to pay more to get that done. Anyway, the bigger the movie, the bigger the production, the faster it's done. Yeah, the more money it is, the faster everything that you need. You need sun, we got artificial sun. You need rain, we're going to make it rain. They literally bring out hoses and water and waste water and make it artificially rain. Waste water, why not? Anything from the cars, they rent out the cars, they pay top dollar for everything. Because the bigger the production, they want everything to be right. They want it done. They want the actors. And if you don't show up and you don't, I got somebody else. I got 5,000 extras. I could get another one. I can get rid of 2 and bring 2 more in. So, through that. And so, I've done a few things, and it was I wanted to do more. And deep down inside, I was I have friends that live in LA. that work in the business, and they were like, you know, you got to come to LA. And I was like, it's not that easy. You know, I'm not by myself. It's myself and my wife. And I'm not going to LA anytime soon. You know, when I was lucky, and I was like I signed with a talent agent, you know, and the auditions change. But one of the problems for me is that I've been reading for characters that are older than I am. You know, like in the 50s. I'm like 47 going on 48, and they want me to read for 55. I don't look 55 because I see a little gray hair. I had to audition for a guy who was like 55. He was heavy set because he eats steak and drinks martinis every night, and he's well-to-do. I showed up, and she was like, okay, how old are you? It's like, you know, then a year later, I'm 48. 48? Oh, okay. You know, and it's, you see that they don't match. And so, you know, maybe one day it does match, you know, whatever. But that's the casting part of it. You fit the characters. And so all those characters that you watch in those movies and the TV shows, every single one of them is written, most of them, let me see, not every single one, most of them are written to the story. And they need to be certain people. You know, they need to be heavy, or they need to be dark, or they need to be tan, they need to be black, they need to be white. You know, I worked on a production with this crew, and it's called Industry Unlocked is the production. And they do web series stuff, and they had this thing, Pray Before You Eat. And P-R-E-Y, pray. So it's pray before you eat 1, pray before you eat 2, pray before you eat 3. Okay? And I get cast into, I go to the audition, and something happened where I had my resume, and I gave it to this assistant who was supposed to bring me into the room. But she had it, and when I went into the room, she didn't come behind me. So they were annoyed that I didn't have my resume. And that's enough right there for them to be like, doesn't matter how good the audition was. They're like, they're just little things would turn people off. Anyway, 6 months go by, I get a text from them. They're like, look, we need you. Would you come in and play a lawyer, play a defense attorney for this character? I said, sure, I got it. And they were like, they send me the script the night before, less than 12 hours later. Okay. I studied the lines. I added lines to it. I mastered it. I had the charisma, the character. I was going to make him like a Johnny Cochran kind of character. Going to mock him. I go in there. I get there, and they change it. So like, we don't want you as the defense attorney. We want you the prosecution. The guy that they hired later on, I found out was like kind of like having a relationship with the producer. So I don't have a shot at this. This was a good character. Okay. And so I'm not a selfish person. So I gave the guy all my notes with the mannerisms, what he should do and all that. And he was like, he was fresh. He was new to acting. And I kept helping him out. I gave him everything that I worked on, everything that I practiced, how I did. I gave it to him. And he did it exactly how I had written, and I showed it to him. And so when I was working with this woman, and she was the two prosecuting lawyers, she kept stepping on my lines. She kept taking stuff from me, and I was just like, it's, you know, like it would just annoy you because I was being too nice right there. Yeah. I should have just, you know, there was a main actor on the set, and they kept sending someone over to him, and the two main actors off to the side, the lawyer that I helped, he kept coming to me for advice. And I was like, that feels good, you know, like somebody like sees something that I see in it, and they see something in me that can help them. But I didn't get the role that I was supposed to be there for, and that made me sour grapes. But it was a lesson, you know, and the lesson was don't let greedy little actresses take your lines and step on them too. You know, take your space back, take your time, because it's a cutthroat business. Mm-hmm. It's either you do or somebody else is going to do. And if they think you're too timid to take that away, they're not going to come back to you. You know? And so, I mean, but I've learned, and I like it. I love it. I enjoy it. You know, I think the next is like start doing some stand-up comedy. You know, I'm ready for almost ready for that. I think I gotta find a few underground strip clubs to try my jokes at. You know, for the steak, for that well done meat. Yeah, I'm going to go for steak. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'd just like to introduce myself. My name is Michael Durso. I'm here for the steak. Yeah, I'm here for the steak, not for the jokes or whatever these women are doing behind me, because clearly I'm not paying attention to them. Yeah, and add stand-up to it. I got podcaster, you know, doing that, and plus the main job. And so I was keeping busy. and keeping the creative going. But what do you want in the future, or what do you think that you want to do?
MMA.
You want to do MMA? You want to get into training? That's cool. What do you watch a lot of it now?
Yeah.
Who do you like? Who's your fighter?
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Now, if Conor McGregor loses this next fight, his trilogy with Poirier, are you going to be a Conor McGregor fan still?
Yeah.
You still be there?
But I already know that he won't be the same.
All right, but what if he loses? Okay, so let's say he loses to Poirier and they give him Masvidal, and he loses to Masvidal. Okay, are you still Conor McGregor?
Gotta be a loyal fan.
Okay, you stay with him no matter. So even if he loses the next 5 fights, you stay with him. So who's your backup fighter?
I gotta say, John Jones.
John Jones. Up and down John Jones. Got a little crazy in his stuff going on. So John Jones. Okay. Now, same thing. John Jones comes out and he loses. Still with him no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your backup to that backup?
Oh, here you go. Look, your Jets.
I knew it. Zach Wilson. They had to. They had to draft Zach Wilson. It's just the second best quarterback out there.
They said no.
But they're going to ruin him. Why are they going to ruin him? So they're going to trade him before he even his stardom hits, and then we're going to do it all over again. See you in 4 years. Did you watch a lot of the fights? Any chance you get?
Yeah.
Anything you disappointed about? Like did you watch these last fights with Usman and Masvidal?
I thought it was gonna be longer.
You thought it was going to be longer?
It was really,
I thought Masvidal probably thought the same thing.
Yeah,
He probably thought it was going to be a
but
little
the thing
longer
is
fight.
that he was getting cocky. I think he was a little.
Well,
too
that's his
cocky.
thing. Look, he was knocked out standing up. Okay? He was knocked out still standing in the air. He hadn't even leaned into another direction. He was knocked out standing up.
He
So,
was smiling, messing around. He shouldn't do that though. It's a championship fight.
well, because he's used to when he look. One of the things about fighters, right? They have to have that thing, whatever it is, their element. Look at McGregor. Okay?
ISIS writes, "Hola, Choco."
Choco. That's it. That's my other nickname. I know I don't look like a guy who has Choco as a nickname, but I do. But look at McGregor, right? Here you go, and you sit in McGregor. McGregor's got a style, right? He's gonna get in your head. He's gonna mess with you. Fuck. Who's this fucking guy, huh? He's gonna get in your head, and he's gonna mess with you, and he's gonna fight with you, and he's gonna argue with you, and he's gonna insult you, and he wants you to get mad. The only thing is, not the last guy he fought in Poirier, but when he fought Khabib.
Who the hell are you talking with? They're like, everybody's wondering, who the hell are you
Oh, because they
talking
can't see it.
Professor X.
Professor X. I'm talking to the mad scientist over here. The new mad scientist. Yeah.
Everybody's like, who the hell
Mike,
is
you
he
want to
talking
introduce
about?
who I'm talking to?
Yeah, Professor X. We could go.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Well, I'm
He's
talking.
on screen with
I'm
us.
talking to Mike the engineer's
my
son.
My sidekick right here.
Yeah. I also talk to the air. I don't want to look at Mike. I look in the other direction. I pretended I'm talking to Sean over here. What? Holy
It's Sean.
Yeah.
Sheen.
Yeah.
I call Sean Sheen.
I spoke for 45 minutes straight, right? And I didn't get interrupted, which I thank both of you for that. But if Sean was here, they would never have
Get
happened.
die laughing.
They
No
would
bell, no tap out.
No top out. Ding, ding, ding. So there is a future MMA champion. What weight division we going up to? Welterweight?
Lightweight most likely.
Lightweight? You fight now? Practice fight? I'm not saying that you fight now.
Well, not yet, but like soon.
So have you been in the gym?
Well, working out at home.
Okay. You ready to? How old are you now?
17.
17? You ready? No. Okay. Perfect time.
He's trying to run me to death.
Get it.
Yeah.
There you go. Get him in.
He doesn't want. He doesn't want.
We're not even gonna go there.
What did you say?
Just-
30-second
I
punches?
told you.
Yeah. Hey, hit the speed bag. What? Is that cardio?
The Jake Paul fight. What do you think?
Garbage.
Do you hate him as much as me?
I didn't even hate him. He's just garbage.
I'm like, why are they entertaining?
Yeah,
this
that's it.
nonsense?
He's just garbage. It's like that character just doesn't do anything for me. I don't.
He's gonna fight Mayweather.
Yeah. Well.
No, not him. It's not Jake. It's his brother, Logan.
Oh,
Logan.
correction. Yeah.
Yeah. That. And they
I
said
got you, ISIS.
look, and they want to fight on a Sunday. Nobody's watching it.
Yeah.
Nobody cares on a
I'm
Sunday.
done. Listen, I'm done with all the exhibition fights. After the Tyson fight, the last Tyson fight, I was done. I'm like, this shit is garbage.
Well, that's what's crazy is because it wasn't too bad for 250-something-year-olds, right? Two guys, like it wasn't too bad. But you got to say, Bernard Hopkins was only fighting a few years before. Stopped fighting just a few years before that. Tyson had not fought in what, 20 years? 15 years before that. So
I think Tyson was fighting hesitant. Like he knew he could have put
yeah.
a real bad hurt on him, but I'm like,
Well, because he was a moment when he was
like,
leaning
come
in and he
on.
went to throw that punch and he kind of like hesitated. It
broke
was
his
like
punch. Yeah, he was like,
yeah, like he's hitting his own glove. You know what I could do to you? Well, like I don't care for that. I don't care for that. If it's real exhibition, but not this wannabe celebrity exhibition that comes out. Fuck that, man. It's garbage. It just ruins it. It kills what it is. And to like that Ben Askren, right? He probably made $500,000 in his whole career. Maybe less than that. Who cares? He was happy.
Yeah.
He was retired.
Yeah.
He was training fighters. He just made about $1 million off that fight. Now he's set for life. Believe it or not, you can last a long time and do with minimal with $1 million. And if he's going to train, he's never going to touch that money. And if he's good at training, it's going to be so. It was garbage. Though, nothing about it interests me, intrigues me. If he challenged me for $1 million, and he gave
you'll
me,
let him knock you out?
No, he won't get to knock me out. He ain't knocking me out. Like you know what I mean? Like, but he should knock me out. What is he? 27 years old in tip-top shape. I'm 48 and I'm like okay shape, and train to box. I got a torn rotator cuff. You know what I mean? You give me 6 months to train? Yeah, give me 6 months to train, and then I'll jump in the ring with him. For $1 million? Bet. And I was surprised. I'll shock the world. Bum, bum, bum. No, but it's a travesty. It's like it just takes away it. Like, look at all those like celebrities, bum celebrities for a while that they were picking off the street and fighting together. Danny Bonaducci and Jose Canseco and putting these guys all in the ring, and then they did Tough Man between. Like it just takes it away from.
It just ruins what boxing is.
It's
disrespectful to the real boxers too, because they don't get that popularity and that money.
But look at it. But if Logan Paul is making all that money, right? And let's say off the pay-per-view, let's say he made $3 million. I don't know. We're gonna make up a number. He made $3 million.
That's crazy,
right? It's crazy. There are guys that are putting in that fight, like gutting it out, fighting 3-4 times a year in low-level, like unsanctioned fights, and making like a couple of grand. You know what I mean? Fighting for that passion, and he's joking about it and laughing and making a mockery of it, and people like throwing money at It's just like, all right.
I want to see him jump in the ring with Conor. He keeps calling out Conor, but I want to see him jump in the ring with Conor on a UFC level.
I don't think Conor will entertain that because the guy's garbage.
I just want to see, know.
Because like, that's the kind of guy will destroy him. But what is he going to do? Is he going to, like, Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather, which he wasn't going to win, but you thought he might put up look, he was winded, right? But McGregor, like, he made $150 million off that fight. $150 million off that fight, knowing that you're going to lose in the 10 whatever round. He lost in the 10th round. He made
broke out good, yeah.
Right? And then he just sold half of his whiskey, okay?
Yeah.
He's set. He's been making money, right? He was a top UFC earner, okay? What has that guy done to warrant putting himself in a ring with that, Like if he's so let's say his other brother fights Mayweather, who they say he's a really more talented boxer. Okay? People that before that wanted to see Mayweather fight so they could lose because they didn't like Mayweather's attitude. He had a shit attitude. He was good. They don't like his stance. They don't like his defensive style. He's undefeated. So what? So what? Okay, if you fought somebody and you beat them and you say you fought them too late, he didn't care. He knew. Wait, when he fought Canelo, he knew he was fighting a guy way too young that wasn't ready for him.
Yeah, that's
Nobody wants to fight the Canelo. Canelo's 5'7", 5'8", and he's the condition he's in. He's almost a heavyweight, but he can't fight a heavyweight. He's 6'9", and so.
it's crazy.
Anyway, I think we're just about done, right?
Be good.
I mean, we're good. We had I had a long chat.
Sean's gonna be with Sheen.
Sheeny, Martin Sheen.
Yeah, he's gonna be with us next week, right?
Yeah, he'll be back next week. I think the way it's going to go down after May 6th, which is next week's episode. After May 6th, we're going to have a guest, and then after that, we'll do. I think we're going to start to do every other
week.
So
Yeah.
like May 6th will be the last one. Then we'll be off the 12th, and then we'll go from there. And then if we, whatever happens, if we need to, do a couple in the
Yeah, we're gonna be remote, like between it, from what I'm being told.
Yeah, so a couple of
gonna be
Thursdays
good.
softball games. They came up with an idea where they think it would be great if I interviewed the guys and called the game. They think it would be fun to call the game, and I was like, I would be up for that.
It's
That would be
actually
fun.
gonna build up people wanting to come out. So
Yeah,
it's a
so
good idea.
you can see, so we'll go with that. That being said, I don't know who was listening. Whoever's listening, hope you enjoyed. If you didn't, it's not my fault. It's yours. You just don't understand. Yeah, I'm joking. Anyway, whoever's listening, thank you very much. All that are listening, thank you very much for listening. This is the Mike and Sean Show. I'm Mike on the mic when I'm all alone. This is Mixed Vibes Radio. Thank you very much. Peace.